My goal is to be, one of the best players in the world. So it's obviously, I'm happy to move up in the rankings. That's my goal. That's what I work for. And I'm just, striving to be the best I can be. And, whatever comes with it, I'll take.
Hey, welcome back to Montreal Connected. Now, Eugenie Bouchard shocked the tennis world last month. She is only the second Canadian ever to make it to the semifinals of a Grand Slam event. And to talk about this young tennis phenom, we have two guys in the room that know a little bit about her. We have Jack Todd from the Montreal Gazette and Eugenie Bouchard, who is one of Eugenie's first coaches ever. I got to start with you and ask you, at what point did you know that Eugenie was something special?
Well, it's very hard to know precisely, that somebody's going to make it in a professional scene. But very early on, her attributes, definitely showed a lot of potential. So, around the age of 8, 9, she already basically was performing better than the average.
Knowing her personality, were you surprised with her success so far?
Honestly, no. She's a hard worker, determined person, and those are her goals. And I think she's going towards them.
Early success, doesn't always mean that it's going to be turning into a long-term career, and we've seen that before with other Canadian tennis stars. Why do young stars who start so great at the beginning tend to fizzle out?
I think you see that more in the women's game, not so much in the men's game. And actually, I think it goes back. You think of people like Carleen Bassett and Jennifer Capriati. The women's game was different then. You know better than I do, but it was more open. There were fewer really top-ranked, mature players because women didn't stay in it until they were 30 or 35. So you had these young ones that would come along, and then as soon as better competition came up, they would burn out for whatever reason. I don't see that happening with her at all. Too much maturity there, too much knowing where she's going.
Well, that's a good thing, too, because the WTA is really promoting Eugenie as the new face of women's tennis. Do you see this as something that's going to help her or hinder her?
Well, I think that she's doing quite well. I think that it's going to just boost her confidence level. I mean, she's the center of attention right now on the WTA, and good for her. So no, I think it's going to basically help her.
She can handle the heat.
Oh, I think she's a very mature, smart woman. So yes, she will.
Martina Navratilova said that she is like the potential for a Grand Slam champion. Do you see that, coming down the pipe for her?
I think she does. I think she's coming along at a good time because right now the women's field is Serena and everyone else. And Serena is going to be the favorite in every tournament she enters for the next couple of years, but she's getting toward the end. She's heavy. She's been lugging a lot of weight around the court for a lot of years. I don't see her lasting much longer. And once you get past her, it's pretty open. Azarenka, Li Na's getting up there in years. She can go with anybody else now. She proved that in Australia. She proved that last year at some of the majors. So, yeah, I think somewhere along the line she's going to win one.
What do you think she needs to improve to join that elite group?
Well, from my perspective, she just needs to get a little bit stronger. But the part that she has that, say, Caroline Wozniacki doesn't have is strength. She's never going to be a big hitter like Serena, but she has enough to stay in there with anyone else. And, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's nothing really missing in her game. It's just a matter of maturing, she'll get stronger as she gets older. The sky's the limit, I think.
What do you think her strengths are?
I think, well, the number one strength is that she's smart. She knows the game well. And basically, she's going forward towards basically, improving and gaining more experience on the tour. So she's going to soak in all that information, all that experience, and learn from it. So she's a good learner. She's a quick learner, and I see good things.
Have you talked to her recently? What's her thoughts right now?
I haven't talked to her recently. I think she's I would assume overwhelmed with media right now because she's the big thing. But hopefully soon, we'll get in contact.
Amazing. Well, guys, thank you so much for all your insight on this. We're so excited. I mean, it's so great to see the fans going to see her play in Canada, kind of rallying behind her, right?
Yeah, especially a tournament like Australia. Usually we pay no attention here unless you look for the weather, so you can feel a bit less cold. This year, everybody's right into it.
We've been kind of starved for something like this, right?
Oh yeah, for
absolutely,
sure.
Yeah. And so it's great. It's great for tennis. Great for Tennis Canada. And hopefully good things will come in the future.
All right, well, thank you again so much for your insight on this and joining us in our connected studio, and we'll see you hopefully soon.
Okay.
We'll talk more Jeannie.